Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? I hope you're all having a fabulous day today. And today, we are going to be looking through the stocks that I am currently keeping quite a close eye on due to the big upside potential I believe that they have got. This may be to do with current market conditions, FDA approvals, new board of directors, anything like that. And yeah, it's what I am looking at and what I'm currently kind of dabbling within. As per usual, if you enjoy the video that we're doing today, please make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment below and join our Telegram, our Discord, everything. You can interact with myself and Sam, and yeah, it's just a bundle of fun. We learn so much from you guys, and I hope we kind of teach you guys some things to make it a fair sort of trade. Just before we get into the video, I need to remind you, I myself am not a financial advisor. I'm merely an economics student. I am studying economics. I have no actual qualifications in financial advisory. So please, please, please do your own due diligence and take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Remember, all stocks are battlefields. We can only find the battlefield for you. We cannot fight the battle for you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first stock we are going to be looking at today is MARA, so Marathon Digital Holdings Incorporated. So, what are they? So, Marathon or MARA is a digital asset technology company that mines cryptocurrencies with the focus on blockchain ecosystem and the generation of digital assets. So essentially their sole focus at the moment is mining Bitcoin, mining Ethereum and all the rest of it in order to make money. Now, as we can see from the graph here, MARA is a very, very up and down kind of company, so to say. It has big spikes, but it can also sell off massively. Now, this is mainly due to the fact that it is directly correlated to Ethereum and Bitcoin. That is what they are focused in. That is what their company is about. So if Bitcoin loses value, then MARA isn't worth as much because the thing that it's trying to gain isn't worth as much. However, if Bitcoin then goes to, say, $100,000 a share, you can see MARA going to $40, $50 a share with ease. So, I'm keeping my eye on this just because of everything which has happened recently with the IPO of Coinbase that came out a couple of weeks ago. JP Morgan are now looking at starting up their own Bitcoin fund. So, their Bitcoin managed fund. So, it's just going to be interesting to see how this is all going to affect the cryptocurrency market and see what effect this has on MARA, because dependent on which way cryptocurrencies go, and again, I can only really see them going up when they're becoming more widely accepted, but dependent on how cryptocurrencies go, I can see MARA reaching a really, really nice price, and yeah, we could be looking at a $50, $60 stock. Right, so next on our list, we have AMC Entertainment. So AMC Entertainment, as we all know, they're the theatre company. They've got hundreds of theatres all around the US, and they were the kind of one of the stars amongst the whole meme stock thing that was started on Wall Street Bets. It was one of the companies that was primarily focused by Reddit. Now, what is actually happening? So, as we know, there was the large short interest, and I believe that short interest is still about. I don't know quite to what extent it is, but there is still going to be some short interest. As you can see, the past couple of weeks we've had a big run up, but this is due to theatres and cinemas starting to reopen, and now we are starting to see this slight sell-off. Now, recently, there has been a shareholder meeting in which they abandoned the plan to do a public offering of 500 million new shares. This was in order to cancel out that and looking more towards the long run future of the company. However, they needed to balance this out and they needed to be careful because 500 million new shares, that is a lot. And the only problem with releasing that many shares onto the public market would be the oversaturation it would cause. So it may cancel out the debt, but the oversaturation these shares would cause, I would be very, very intrigued to see what would happen to the actual price of it, but I feel a lot of retail investors and a lot of institutional investors, people involved in AMC, would get burnt big time. Now, I say they've completely abandoned this 500 million offering. They've not fully abandoned it. They're still doing a 43 million at the market offering, which is estimated to raise them about $400 million. Now, that is a large sum of money, and that is looking to cover more than 3 months of operating costs, even with all theatres being shut down. Again, due to the fact they're not oversaturating the market, this means there is still potential for a slight short squeeze to occur. Again, I don't know what the exact short interest at the moment is. It is difficult to gain, it's difficult knowledge to gain, and I can't find it for looking at the moment. So if someone would like to comment down below what it is, that would be greatly appreciated, but currently I cannot find it anywhere. But they are looking to start protecting the company, the company's financials in the short to medium term. However, long term, it could still be a little bit murky due to the amount of debt that they have overhanging at the moment caused by the pandemic. Now, this isn't a stock, so to speak. However, I am looking and keeping a close eye on Bitcoin. Again, this is partly due to my interest in Mara and other crypto mining companies. However, a lot of interest is now being gathered in Bitcoin on the institutional side of things. As we have seen, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, JP Morgan is looking at setting up a Bitcoin fund. Now, what may this cause? Well, JP Morgan, to do this, are going to be looking to buy vast quantities of Bitcoin in order to go and speculate that it's going to be rising in price, which it will, due to the amount of supply being limited now. There are only a capped amount of Bitcoin that can actually be produced. So with this, along with the fact that there are a lot of developers building decentralized finance sectors around cryptocurrencies, so you don't have to go through banks, you don't have to go through brokerages to trade this type of thing. It's becoming a lot more freely accessible to trade. And it's not just that, we have started to see more companies look at accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. It started off not too long ago with Tesla. However, I know PayPal is now starting to accept cryptocurrency, and eBay is currently going through the process of looking to start allowing cryptocurrency payments for their website. So with all of this around cryptocurrency, and I say this is just Bitcoin, this is Ethereum as well. Now with all of this surrounding cryptocurrencies at the moment, I feel there is a large scope for cryptos to rise, and I think they will rise the longer time goes on and the more widely accepted it becomes. Now, one of my favorite stocks is NAKD, Naked Brand Group. Now there is a large scope for profit here currently, especially as we can see pre-market it's down to 61 cents. That is a really good price from my point of view. Now, why am I interested in NAKD? Well, obviously we have the short interest, but pushing short interest to one side, this is now turning into a fundamentally good company. So NAKD have recently announced the divestment of Brendan. This will reduce NAKD's losses and be able to focus their business structure around online sales. So as we know, Brendan was one of the main causes of losses throughout NAKD, but it was primarily a brick and mortar company. So this is the first step in moving to a fully strengthened e-commerce company. We also need to look, now this divestment of Brendan has happened, I can easily see a single quarter of profit that NAKD may make could see this stock absolutely soaring. There's been a comparable company analysis which has shown the potential of NAKD in the event of a successful turnaround. The upside to this company currently is massive. As we've seen, the short interest is now reducing. So yes, on one hand, you can look at that as a bad thing because there may not be the same scope for a short squeeze, or the short squeeze may not be as good. However, this is now showing that the bears are not as they're not as comfortable within this stock. They're no longer hedging against this stock falling, and they're going to start turning bullish on this stock. So NAKD came out and they made a statement about the Bendon divestment. So they stated, the proposed divestment of Bendon will assist in shedding a loss-making brick-and-mortar business with significant property expenses that has seemed to hinder the growth and profitability of NAKD overall. The restructuring of the NAKD balance sheet has provided the potential to support growth, particularly with minimal to no debt and significant cash reserves. So, as we know, NAKD, with that offering they did in January and this divestment, have now zero debt at all. All their debt has been completely gone, and they have $270 million cash in hand. Now, this makes it seem quite appealing to anyone looking to buy NAKD, dependent on what you value the likes of their subsidiaries, such as Fredericks, Hollywood, and all the rest of it, along with this $270 million in cash. So it just poses like there's a really good outlook for this company right now. They've just appointed a new CFO. They've got a new mergers and acquisitions veteran. So I wouldn't be surprised as well to see them use this cash to do a merger with someone who is already integrated in the e-commerce scene. So massive, massive upside potential to NAKD. Now, last but not least is Pfizer. So the biotech company Pfizer, they're currently producing the COVID-19 vaccine. However, they are looking to looking for FDA approval for use in 12 to 15-year-old within the coming days. So obviously, a lot of this run-up we can currently see, a lot of that is the whole buy the rumor, sell the news. However, I'm going to be intrigued to see what is going to happen throughout this FDA approval. The pharmaceutical company last month applied for authorization to begin vaccinating 12 to 15-year-olds because their trials came out and suggested that the inoculations were 100% effective in preventing symptomatic disease among the age group. So people who had COVID and all the rest of it, they are no longer kind of showing symptoms, they're not catching it, and it's, like they said, 100% effective through their starting trials and through their initial trials. So there have been inside scoops from the Food and Drug Administration that it is going to be given the green light in the coming week. This is a big move that will be able to help the US especially, but it will also be looked at now towards the UK, Germany, the whole of the EU, Russia, India especially. This here, if this gets approved, will be a big step forward for the world kind of health in being able to provide herd immunity and getting the world reopened into how it once was. So that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this insight into the things I am looking at over the next coming weeks, the reasons behind why I'm looking at them. So again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you drop a like, subscribe. It means the world to myself and Sam. And until next time, guys, take care.